Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back. We are going to continue with Sarah Bombranick's Simple Abundance 365 Days to a Balanced and Joyful Life. January 27th, The Prosperity of Living. These are challenging times in which to live, but we are not the only generation of women to have known difficult days. It is comforting to realize that others before us have persevered and prospered. During the dark days of the Great Depression, an editorial in the October 1932 issue of Ladies' Home Journal encouraged readers to remember that the return of good times is not wholly a matter of money. There is a prosperity of living which is quite as important as prosperity of the pocketbook. But the magazine stressed that it is not enough to be willing to make the best of things as they are. Resignation will get us nowhere. We must build what amounts to a new country. We must revive the ideals of the founders. We must learn the new values of money. It is a time for pioneering, to create a new security for home and the family. Where we were specialists in spending, we are becoming specialists in living. I remember the exact moment when I found that quote. I was mining my acre of diamonds, seated on the floor of an antique shop, perusing women's periodicals from the past for hints on how to live successfully today. I had been on the simple abundance path for a year and felt like a pioneer. In fact, I felt exactly like a woman who had packed up her family and all her worldly possessions in Boston to start across country in a covered wagon in search of the promised land. For 2,000 miles, I had kept the dream of a better life alive while enduring epidemics, drought, blizzards, tornadoes, snakes, and salted beef. By this time, I was in the Nebraska Territory with 1,000 more miles to go. But I had come too far to turn back. Like that pioneer woman, I was discouraged and exhausted. I found that magazine. I immediately embraced it as a telegraph message to my soul. Keep going. Don't stop. You're on the right path and you are not alone. From that moment, I have never looked back, and my exhaustion was transformed into creative energy. I learned firsthand that the simple abundance path has the power to transform lives. Are you ready to become a pioneer? Then it's time to invest your soul with all the creative energy at your disposal. Think of me as your scout, your own personal pathfinder. I've gone ahead and cleared brush from the trail. This much I'll tell you at the outset. The path spirals and takes time. It will take us a year. But it is comforting and nurturing. It can also be undertaken only one day at a time. Don't be afraid. We are not alone. Like pioneers on the trail, we will learn to live by our own lights and the stars of heaven, for it is all we need. There is no obstacle that true grit and amazing grace cannot overcome. Wow, what an amazing reminder. A lot of us have a tendency to think that we have to do everything alone, that we're here and we're doing this journey by ourselves. But we always have to remember that there are others. There are other people who have come before us, that have gone before us, who have done what we've done and succeeded. So if you can find those people, and you don't even have to find them and be friends with them, but just look up to them, emulate them, and know that there are others who are on the same path that you are, maybe not going at the same pace, but there are other people out there who are willing to lend a helping hand, who are willing to offer guidance and support, who are willing to really help you feel uplifted in your journey. So I encourage you to go and find some place online or in your community where you can fellowship with people who are truly amazing and who will help guide you on the path. And to remember that you are a pioneer, that you are on your journey and you have to keep going regardless of how hard it is. Obstacles are put in our way to see if what we truly want is on the other side. So every time you come up against a wall, just remember that it's there. And I actually read a quote yesterday and I saved it here. Let me find it and read it. I thought this was amazing. And it said, sometimes walls are there so we can lean on them and rest. So sometimes you might hit a wall and you're trying to figure out what in the world the wall is there for. What purpose does it serve? Maybe it's just a time for you to rest. Maybe it's time for you to just sit back and take stock of everything that's going on in your life and to find out whether you're truly on the right path, and to, figure out if this is truly supposed to be your life's journey. Maybe it's just a time for you to reflect. I mean, none of us really spend enough time in contemplation and reflection, I don't think. So I think maybe, if you're hitting a wall, stop and take time to take stock of everything that's going on. Be grateful for everything that you're going through and everything that you're encountering, because in everything that you encounter, you are experiencing a lesson. And you have to sit there and try and think, what is the lesson that I am supposed to learn from this? And then you can move forward. Because if you don't, I guarantee you that if you do not learn your lesson from whatever it is that you're encountering, it will come up again and again and again. And it starts out small and it eventually ends up super big, like, a giant brick falling on your head. So, try and figure out early on, what am I meant to learn from this, so that I don't have to keep experiencing this, and that the experiences don't get worse as time progresses. So until tomorrow, I hope you have an amazing, abundant, and blessed day.